and I'm gonna have a heart attack because we're doing 6,000 miles an hour right now. Let's turn the camera around just to watch our death happen. How did you get the people connected to the customer that they're not connected to?
My most successful thing I implemented was, oh, while I'm saying, 1 second.
We're gonna die again.
If your customers don't grow, you don't grow. If your employees don't grow, you don't grow. If your vendors.
So what am I doing? The thing that I think is missing from all the plant tours is always the conversation on the way to the plant and on the way home from the plant and at dinner and in the car. And I'm gonna have a heart attack because we're doing 6,000 miles an hour right now. Let's turn the camera around just to watch our death happen. No, I can't even reach and touch the camera. See? All the good stuff. Well, I think this car's got a little get up and go. So, yeah, we have no pressure to talk about anything, but I didn't want to miss anything that we might talk about. But I did just talk to probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 people at your shop. And there was a couple of very common denominators. And one of them was every single person said that they are making their improvements and that they're doing what they do for the customer.
It sounds like made up, right? Does it?
It was not.
It is not.
Yeah, it did not sound made up. And I was trying to figure out, like, we're trying to peel the onion here and figure out why is Yellotools so different? And how did you get the people connected to the customer that they're not connected to?
Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, first of all, you have to repeat it. Hold on one quick.
Okay, here we go again. I wish people could get an appreciation for this in the camera. Maybe they should just see the speedometer right now at 180 miles per hour.
Okay. So,
yeah, no big deal.
Sorry, I need to do this. So first of all, you have to repeat and repeat and repeat it. And if you as the leader don't mean it, it doesn't go anywhere. Okay? So, the first years I kept on telling them, guys, I'm not paying your loan. I'm not paying your payments and your money. It all comes from the customer. I can only divide what you guys create. And I think that got stuck somewhere. And so the more added value we can bring to customers, the more I can spend on them. That's pretty simple. So we don't pay any bonuses or any commissions on improvements or whatsoever. It's the whole thing at the end of the year. And the last couple of years, I can tell it was hard, with COVID and with the war right now, with the price increase and stuff. So we do a good job. So you really have to repeat it. The second thing I learned is human beings intentionally want to do the right thing. There's a thing called the critical mass. Look at emails in the 90s. You remember that, the first people who were just sending electronical text messages from one room to the other, and we're like, yeah, these kids are freaking idiots, right? No, the mailman wouldn't be, in trouble at one time because of that stupid stuff, right? But email is and was the right thing to do, rather than, cutting down a tree down somewhere in Bolivia to make paper out of it, to send it crisscross the ocean to say, hi mom, I'm still alive, right? So it is the right thing to do to use an email. But we all like, that's not, And then the first companies started like, oh, well, that's a smart thing to get an immediate response on my question I had, or sending files or something like that. Oh, wow. So it was the logical consequence that people are start using that. And after even like the police or courthouses and stuff like this start using emails, everyone's like, yeah, that's the most common thing in the world, using an email. So people intentionally want to do the right thing. And if you explain them what the right thing is, and if you can really explain it from the bottom of your heart, then they will get it. And it was like, okay, for us, we couldn't work differently than we do right now. We had people leaving Yellotools, and some of them, they came back and said, well, we can't work in a normal, regular environment. And this is what I really believe in a few years. And maybe we can do a date thing on that thing here. In a few years, people who apply for a job, they will look at the philosophy, the culture in the company they might eventually want to work with. And if you are a true lean company, you will have advantages getting the right and the better people, because those people say, hey, we just want to work in a lean company because we're heard, and it's all about my personal growth and all the work-life balance crap everyone's talking about. This is it's built in the lean system anyway. Right. It's not an add-on, and it's just like, yeah, it comes with it. So this is the right thing to do, and that's what I'm thinking is happening at Yellotools. We know it is the right thing to do, period. You sound skeptical.
No, I don't. I sound like, wow, like that. It is the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do for the people. It's the right thing to do for the customer. It's the right thing to do for the supplier. Like, it just, when you look at it like that, it's not like we're S-ing because we have to. We're S-ing because it's the right thing to do. Like, seems too simple almost,
An email is also pretty simple, isn't it? Now it is.
Right.
Back in the days, it was like, oh my God, how do I get the device, and what buttons I have to click on and stuff like this. So you have to make it easy to send an email. If it's like, it's again Paul Akers, who once told me, if you wanna sell cookies, and you show people, hey, look, this is the most delicious cookie you will ever find, and this is the most delicious cookie you could ever find in your life. Do you want one? Here, smell it. It is awesome. And then you put the jar on the upper shelf somewhere in out of reach for them, and say, hey, just get yourself a ladder, and very dangerously climbing up there, you have a high risk of getting killed or whatever. You help yourself. That's bullshit. You need to take it. Here's the cookie jar. You just here, grab it. And I think this is what we all have to work on, to make lean as easy as possible.
Just every time you're saying stuff like that, it just makes so much sense. It's like, oh my God.
Right. So, I'm a really simple person from Germany's countryside. I've never visited university. The Mensa parties, they were pretty awesome back then, but I never studied or something like that. I'm not a big reader like many of the people I know out there, reading every day. I don't have the time. I'm making improvements. Sorry. No, I'm not a big reader. But see, this is the beauty of the 2-second lean idea of Paul, to keep the things easy. We have the Gemba walks from the largest companies, the largest concerns, and the largest whatever groups in the world. They love to complicate things. They love to blow things up. I call it the lean bullshit bingo. You know, you have all these words you ever learned from Toyota or from whatsoever, and the more you can quote them, the more intelligent you sound. I can't quote them, I don't know them. Because I try to make things simple. Every time we get visitors from all over the places, and I ask them to explain me added value as I would be a 6-year-old boy, the shocking answer is nobody can. Nobody can explain added value as you were 6 years old. And isn't that the problem in overall? You want to explain to your people in the shop what a lean operation supposed to look like, and you want to explain what is waste. Waste is non-added value activities. And if you can't explain this to a 6-year-old, you can't explain it to an adult. In my mind, like you guys said, if you can't manage it to clean your bathroom all by yourself, you don't even have to start at the production belt.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same here. If you can't explain what waste is and how it feels like and why it is dangerous, why it can kill our workspaces, especially in countries like Germany and stuff like this, yeah, then you should stop trying to implement lean.
So it's one thing to go through your factory now, and it's breathtaking, right? And it's obvious. You're 5 seconds in the door, you know something's different. But what about if we wind the clock back to the day you decided to go lean, and you're like, okay, yeah, I got it. You know, I talked to Paul. We all, you know, it was where we all started. And what was some of the first things you did to get your team behind you? Like, you had the vision, and how did you share the vision and get everyone wanting the same thing?
I didn't have a vision. That's to start from there. I had an idea.
Okay.
You know, and it all started with being jealous, you know, because what I saw at Fast Cab, I just wanted to have. That was the only thing I was just visionless. It was a long way. So my most successful thing I implemented was the clutter room. And even here, telling people, hey, whatever you don't need, just put in that room, forget about it, didn't work out. Because I forgot to explain exactly what they're supposed to put in there. Because nobody touched anything, because I said, yeah, you paid for it, so I can't move it. I'm like, what? Yeah, but I know, but yeah, so how can we? Okay, here's the thing. Everything below the value of $50 and you didn't use for the last couple of months, put it in that room. Oh, now I got it. The very next day, my freaking shop was empty. It was empty. I'm like, oh my God. And that room, that clutter room, was just like packed. So hello, now we got it. So, and along the last 17, 18 years, I had to learn to trust people. This is the most difficult part.
What do you mean by
that? You think you know it all, right? As a business owner, you think, oh man, I have the vision. I need to control every aspect of it. And this is your fuck up right there. At the beginning of my career, I thought I need to gather people around myself who are a little lower than I myself, so I can explain everything to everyone. The boss needs to know everything about every machine and every process and everything in the shop. So I didn't realize that I limit the potential of my enterprise to the limit of my skills.
Right.
So now I learn to gather around people around myself which knows more than me in that specific areas. hey man, this is the craziest thing ever. I'm the dumbest idiot at Yellotools. Everyone else is better than me, and it's crazy. I only have to kind of like get them together, do the morning meetings, teach them to ask the right questions to each other, and off you go. This is crazy. I mean, you've seen the results today. We had a couple of little examples of how it turns out if you let your people go, fly, shine, and race, and yeah, that's what happens.
So something I noticed at your shop that's different, and I was really paying attention to this at the morning meeting. I was kind of looking around the room. At every shop, there's probably a few people that you're just like, oh, that guy's a couple cans short of a 6-pack or something. You know, you're kind of looking down at
Mistake.
you know, we could do without that person. But it seems like all of your people are firing on all cylinders. Like you just hire all the smartest people in the world.
Surprisingly, how can I say this? Every person in the world has its strength, weaknesses, skills, fears, demands, anxieties, frustrations. If you understand that this is matter of fact, and you gave me that beautiful tool with the matrix, the learning, the yellow matrix, the trading matrix. Yeah. If you give everyone the opportunity to grow, and if you help them getting out of the nutshell, and I'm saying, 1 second.
We're gonna die again.
Sorry.
I'm gonna put pictures of the speedometer up in the video.
If you really carefully listen to everyone, I mean, I think this is the art to evaluate if what the person is wanting from you is real or bullshit. You know, some people just tell you, yeah, I just want to, fly to the moon and stuff. Yeah, good luck. But if you master it to really figuring out what that a person is craving for, and you put them in the right position, everyone is a monster. Everyone. Even the most silent person, the most humble and most whatever shy person has his skills, and if you get that skill out of there, winning chicken dinning, whatever.
That's winning chicken dinning.
You know what I mean.
Love it. Yeah, isn't that the truth? So if we go back to the clutter room, what was next? What was your next move in the beginning after the clutter room?
I really have to admit that I don't really remember. It was after that, everything was so fast. It was so freaking. We were traveling at, I don't know, 1,000 miles an hour. After we cleaned it, and everyone realized how good it feels to not being distracted from the freedom to move around the way you want, and that there's no freaking shit in your way. Everyone got kind of like addicted, I would say. Yes, that's what I would say. As they say, the first shot is always free, right?
Right.
So that was the first shot. The clutter room was the first shot. Now they realized, man, I could speed up my work by doing this and this and that, but and that's going to be a big chapter of my new book, is what is the motivation for an improvement? If you ask most of the workers in a new lean environment, I call it this way, okay? Most of the people will tell you, or will answer, if you ask them, why do you do improvements? They will say, to please the boss, or the foreman, or the leader, or whatsoever. That's the worst, man. That's the worst. So you did a really shitty job in explaining lean. So, okay, take customers first. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Work for the customer. Which at the beginning we had a life size, real size cardboard customer in the shop. I was like, look, this guy is watching you. Talk about added value and stuff. I mean, it was more fun, but everyone got related to it. So now we're thinking, what if the customer would look from the window out inside the building and watch you doing what you're doing right now, okay? So that was at the beginning, that was that game. But most of the people coming to my shop and asking all these questions is they suffer from not having a sustainable lean. It's just like ups and downs, and then you take out the whip and then it goes. It is in my mind, it is really that we're working from the wrong end of it. I had a conversation with one of my guys, Christoph. We were in a plane flying to Switzerland, and we talked about lean and talking about that stuff, and talk about 3S and improvements and all of that stuff. And I asked him a question. I said, hey, Christoph, you do mountain biking a lot, right? He said, yes. I'm like, okay, so before you do the mountain biking thing, before you go uphill and stuff like this, you put some grease on your chain and stuff? Yeah. You check the air pressure on your tires? Yeah. I'm like, why are you doing this? Are you doing this to be 3 seconds earlier home? He said, no, I don't care when I'm home. Okay, so why do you do it? Well, I like to climb the mountain a little bit more easier. So I don't like to just like trample in nothing. So I make sure that everything is more enjoyable. I'm like, okay, wait a second. You're telling me that you are doing a 3S, 5S improvement on your bike to have more fun? You say, yeah. Okay. So you enjoy the ride more because you're prepared, right? You have your tools up and running, and everything is perfectly tuned in. So you enjoy the process. And he was like, damn idiot, yes.
I was just going to say,
damn, you were right. I mean, I do it for my own sake. Okay. But I question, are you still faster at home? He said, yeah, because I'm going up the mountain way easier. So hallelujah. Here we go. Instead of looking at the process itself, we should look at the fuck-ups within the process and say, what keeps you away from enjoying what you do? I mean, you know this. If you are trapped in a task which is easy to you just have to use your brain just a tiny little bit, and you watch your fingers and time flies. Reading a book or knitting or doing whatever you do, time flies, and that's what's all about. Make time easy. So if we're looking at the process and making it easy for the applicator having a better time as a benefit, as a whatever extra add-on bonus. We get more efficiency, we got more added value, we got speed, and we got all the stuff we are focusing on first sight. So what if we just changing that? And I think this is what we did at Yellotools. We look at the process. We have that word, fix what bugs you. Brad, you have no idea how many people having problems in realizing that there's something which bugs them. Oh, 1 second. It's just like, so you have to explain this to people.
I guess there's no speed limit here.
There is, but I don't care. So
Got to get the speedometer in this.
You ask them, what do you hate about your job? Nothing. Really nothing? No, oh good. But then if you start digging deeper, then they are like, I don't like this, I don't like that. So why don't you focus on that? Why don't you just fix what bugs you? Realize that there's something it bugs you. And that is the most mandatory thing to do.
One of the things that I heard a lot when I was talking to your people was they're like, you can't just talk about it, you have to feel it.
Yes.
And more than one of them said that.
Yes.
And I was like,
yes.
There we go. If you don't get the hair standing up on your arms.
You know what a stunning moment is, right? Where you're like, oh wow. How many moments do you have in your life like this? Last week, I mean, maybe you are not a good example because you're very easy to entertain like a little kid. But the most workers, how many moments of that, oh my God, in a positive way, do they have in their life a week? Most of them none.
Right.
Most of them none. And the only chance to get these oh my God moments is during a 3S process and testing what you did during the day. And you say, oh my God, that really worked. You know what I mean? That excitement. Or you heard it this morning at the morning meeting, all of a sudden a co-worker tells you, hey, XY, thank you for doing this to me. That is awesome what you did. My job is so much more easier. I'm like, oh, you're welcome. Whoa, moment of that astonishing moment. You can create 1 billion of those during work and only a few at home. Isn't that sad?
Right.
But hey, you can work with that. You can use it. And I think, and I'm absolutely sure that my team has those moments and they got addicted to these moments. And this is why this is so, it feels so true. And that moment can be felt. It gives you chills, it gives you goosebumps. Ooh, and I love that. I totally love that.
Well, you've created the environment for that to happen.
Well, Lean did, not me. This is what I learned from all these people like Greg Glebe, like you, like Paul Akers, like the Tierney brothers, and whatever. This is what we call Lean. It's not my invention or something. I didn't create it. I just adopted it.
Right.
I think you have to understand that. Once other people were able to do it, you must be freaking stupid to not copy it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's always fascinated me that first of all, how many people haven't even heard of it? And that's crazy.
It's changing. It's a wave, man. It's a freaking wave.
But then the ones that hear about it and don't do anything about it.
They found the wrong explanations about it.
Right.
Yes. I mean, look, we had that road manufacturing company. It's one of the largest companies we have in entire Europe. They have 88,000 employees. 88,000 employees.
Wow.
And they're doing lean about 9 or 10 years right now. They have their own lean academy. They train their own lean leaders. Their former boss, Clemens Haselsteiner, this guy, Brad, if you would have met him, this guy was just way beyond everything. He died at the age of 44 in December last year. It was sad, man. All these people, they understand that this is the best movement. Maybe it's one of the best movements since Industrial Revolution we have. And you're going to, you will see this wave is getting over us, and it's the best wave we ever see. I'm very sure about that.
The lean wave.
The lean wave, or whatever you want to call it. It is put people in the center of everything you do, period. Not the process, not material, not customers or whatsoever. Put your people first. If your customers don't grow, you don't grow. If your employees don't grow, you don't grow. If your vendors don't grow, you don't grow. Period. It's not protectionism, it is spreading that word.
So you said something really interesting there. It's like if someone heard about lean and they didn't jump on, then they got the wrong definition. How would you explain lean to someone who's never heard of it, or how do you? I never heard of it before, and I was like, "Hey, Michael, I stopped in to buy a squeegee today. Your factory's different. Why?"
Well, it takes a couple of minutes to do this. I mean,
where are you going? We have to.
yeah. Well, I mean, I just brought it all up. I mean, what is lean? Lean gives you a spot on that planet where you can be you. You can grow in the speed you want, in the size you want, in the dimensions you want. No limits, absolutely no limits, as long as you do it also for other people. If you walk into Yellotools, everyone says, "Oh, it's so clean in here. Everything is in order. Everything has this little spot." Let's say a customer walks in and tell me that. It happened yesterday with a group of sign guys from Switzerland. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, you know why we're doing that? No. It's like, you know what? I don't want you to pay any of my guys looking for a screwdriver. I want you to pay for my product. I want you to pay for quality. And I not want you to pay for us running around looking for things to build your stuff. Because we think it's unfair. It's not fair because you don't watch us every day. You can't see us every day producing a thing. But we think it's unfair to betray on you in order to, running around and, chit chat, checking mails from the girlfriend, from the wife, or both of them, we think it's unfair. It's just not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is you clock in and you focus on your customer. You focus on making the product as easy, enjoyable, and fast and efficient as possible. If you want to go there, if you want to do the same thing, buy one of these lean books and go to Paul Akers, to the City Matters guys, or whatever. Learn it, do it, feel it, and that's the easiest explanation I have.
I think there's space in the lean vocabulary for it's just the right thing to do. I've never heard of that, I've never heard anyone say that before in such an eloquent way. It's just the right thing to do. Like if you're shopping for a car and one car was $5,000 and the same car was $7,000. And you're like, well, why is this one $7,000? Well, that company, they like to check Facebook and they like to talk at work, and
No thanks.
yeah, right.
Nope.
Nobody on planet Earth would buy the more
No.
expensive car, but yet if the customer is not watching, we let that slip. We let that slip our mind.
Arrogance. That's arrogance and ignorance, I would say.
Man.
And we're crossing the Rhine River as we speak. Isn't Germany beautiful?
I do like it. Although I haven't seen much of it because I just go straight to Yellotools because that's the best spot in Germany. What else did I hear? A lot of your people were saying that it's fun. I heard the word fun a lot. And I don't know that a lot of people associate the word work and fun all in the same
It's a
sentence.
no-go. It's a no-go. No, you can't do this. No, you have to work and you have to focus and blah, blah, blah. I mean, we're talking about sustainability. So you need to have that fun. Do you remember last night I quoted Mary Poppins, remember?
Yes.
What did she say? I mean, I'm not that good in English.
There's a job that has to get done, should be an element of fun or something.
Yeah, you find the fun and snap, the job is done.
Right.
Something like
Yes,
this,
yes,
right?
yes.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Find the element of fun. We call it 3S. Yeah, finding the element of fun is the morning meeting, is like getting ready for everything and stuff like that.
And something else that stood out was more than one person also said, oh no, this, because I asked them about their other jobs, right?
Yeah.
And they say, no, this job's different because I'm doing something different every day. And it's kind of funny because in reality, you're not. You're building some stuff, you're packing stuff, you're shipping stuff.
Yeah, but you have the 3S.
That's right.
You have your improvement.
That's right.
So you can reflect on yesterday. So what did I don't like about my job yesterday? What holded me back and what prevented me from having these goosebumps moments? It was that machine is not working the way it's supposed to work. Okay, let's fix that machine. And then you fix it 30 minutes if possible. And then you go and try it again. And so it's not the same than yesterday.
That's right. And I think that is the tapping into the creativity each day of each person and giving them that not same day every day.
Yeah.
It's not Groundhog Day every day.
No. You will lose your people then.
Oh, that was another. Everybody. How long have you been here? 10 years, 18 years, 8 years. One guy, he was like, oh, I've been here for 2 years. And he couldn't not smile. I was like, why are you smiling? He's like, oh, I've been here 2 years, a big smile on his face. And I was just like, wow, you couldn't say I work here without smiling. Oh, here we go. Oh, and someone pulled out in front.
Yeah, he will go.
Yeah, I guess so.
He will. I will. Okay, you should put that thing on.
I don't know how to turn it around. Oh, jeez. There's a good chance we're gonna die. No, don't do this. Don't do that. The light. Oh, there we go. All right. That's the Autobahn. I'm sweating, and I think we can stop somewhere for some clean underwear. So that'll be okay.
And snap
And snap, you're in another country. That's like being in an F-15. So we're in Michael's little rocket ship, apparently. It's blasting off somewhere. And talking about Lee. When I was talking to one of the girls and I said, Michael's not always here. Like, he travels a lot. Here we go.
One more time.
One more time.
One more time.
To 18, to 20, to 30.
Darn.
Full up. Darn, only 230.
Now you need to do this by night, and you can hit 300.
Oh my God. So, the lady I was talking to, the lovely girl, Gina, and she's like, I can't even explain in German, let alone explain in English, the feeling that being in this environment gives her. She's just like, I just can't explain it. You have to feel it. You have to be in it. You have to try it, and there's no turning back. We hear all the time, oh, that won't work for us. We're custom, like, oh, that doesn't work for us. We build whatever custom cabinets or custom metalwork, and it's like, what would you say to someone who said, lean's not going to work for me, we're custom?
So you always have to look at, what do we all have in common? What is that? Everyone. Mercedes-Benz, Best Them Doors, your company, my company, City Matters, the bakery down the street. What do we have in common?
We have lots of things in common.
That one thing.
We all have customers. We all have to make something. Sooner than that or later than that.
Human beings.
Oh, we all are humans. Yeah. Yep.
And this is all what you need to know. So a financial director of a Fortune 500 companies has wishes, demands, anxieties, fears, problems at home. The digger operator on a job site, the farmer, you, me, everyone. We all have our little things at home. We have our little things at life. We have a craving for a good car, or a post-stamp collection, or better food, or fitness, or whatever. We all have our little thing. And we have to work it out. The more power and backbone muscles you get at work, the easier you can fix your issues at home. The easier you can finance your demands or your wishes or whatever. So, and this is what we have to all know, that we can work with those people. And if you help them grow, no matter how, even if you have only bespoke products, there's so much waste in bespoke things. Miscommunication, can't read the letter, the handwriting, wrong number, blah, 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 misinterpreted the demand of the customer, you name it. Everything can be standardized. Everything can be standardized. How much variation you might have in your shop, it can be standardized. So, and then get your people together, communication base, and my number one thing is they call it error culture. That is a big word. Also get used in every bullshit bingo out there. Our error culture is awesome. What is an error culture? An error culture is knowing that 99% of the mistakes in your shop, in your company, maybe also even in your life, origin from a not good enough set process. So, and of course, I learned this from Paul at the very first beginning. 99% of the mistakes in your shop happens because the process is not good enough. And only 1% of it is the human nature or the human person in it. I doubted it. I really didn't believe in it, but it's absolutely true. And this is my experience I made over the last 20 years. Me as the owner, I make the most mistakes, period. Because it's not what you preach, it's what you tolerate. So that's one. But if you don't explain the task good enough so that everyone understands and can follow it, then you have to work on yourself and improve the process, improve the explanation of the process, and so on and so on. That 1% human mistake, don't even touch it.
Right.
Don't even think about touching it. If you try to get this down like Zig Zigma 0.000 something whatsoever, you know what will happen? You will have tiny little robots who don't move at all because they're feared to just bounce somewhere where they might make a mistake. So they can't open the valves. They can't open their own full potential of creativity because they are anxious to make a mistake. Take that away. Say, hey, it's okay to make a mistake, but then we reflect it and then we go from there. So, this is what we all have in common. Most of the people I met, they say, "Oh, I shouldn't say names." It's, I was on a big speech in Helsinki, and it was one of the leading automobile manufacturer who just won a prize in lean whatsoever. This guy was on stage and said, "You know what? The success of us is because we demand 100% of everyone every day, and everyone gives 100% everyone every day." I don't know, maybe in Sweden, but not in the rest of the world. I mean, I've seen it. We all have our bad days, good days. We're in a good mood, bad mood. We're creative and not so creative. We're frustrated. We're happy. We're not happy. It happens. But in a lean environment, if the process is set in the right way, it doesn't matter if you're in a good mood or not. You get the shit done in the same level of quality than yesterday, no matter what mood you have. And this is satisfying to you. And if you are in a bad mood and you can see that you still perform in a really good way, that makes you happy again.
Good motherhood, yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you know this? But I understand a relaxing process can calm down people.
One of my guys once was out on the shop floor, and it was just one of those days where everything was clicking, and it was just like boom, 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 boom. Everything was clicking. And he came over to me and he goes, "So you know what I just noticed?" I was like, "Well, tell me." He says, "Flow is morale." Because the whole team was just smiling and happy that day.
Yeah, and it's, Brad, it's so much more. Of course, also we had employees who suffer from depressions and have mental problems. And two of them last year went to rehab and everything. And both came back and said, "You know what? We could not wait to come back to work because this gave us the stability we needed."
Wow.
Because we knew that once we are in the processes, we can kind of like lean on it. It's not lean,
Yeah.
it gives you that rebar. It gives you that, that stick in your hand to, yeah. You know what I mean? They needed to come back in order to get their life back in the row. And this is so freaking great. It is the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do. I think that might be my new favorite saying, because it boils down everything else. Like that might be right at the very bottom if you just keep asking why. Like, you have the 8 ways, so why should we get rid of transportation? Well, it's so we move it less, so we can deliver faster, so we can doesn't matter what answer you come up with if you keep going, you'll go, well, it's just the right thing to do.
Working with all these big companies and doing I don't know, hundreds of Gemba walks, talking to thousands of people, I realized that they're supposed to be the 9th deadly sin of waste. You know, there are the 8 ways of, and the 9th for me is ego, especially if you have a too big one. Just denying an improvement because someone else did it, or saying, oh no, this guy, I don't like this guy, this is why I'm not doing it, or this is why I don't hear at this guy. Man, so much stuff is boiling down to a big ego. And I love the quote of Chuck Ciccarelli in his shop where he says, make the other person look good. And that's bottom line. If you don't do this, if you are not able, ready to make the other person look good, then your ego is too big. And then you can't be lean. You know, the best improvements, the most staggering things in my shop came from other guys. You know, and everyone's, oh, Michael, you have a mighty fine shop. Yes, just because other people are better than me. If you don't admit this, if you don't believe in that, you are going to lose it. So the 9th deadly sin of waste for me is ego. In this case, size does matter. I love that story about that company in Japan. You know, you have a big, huge parking lot. You have one entrance. And those people who show up early, they park in the very, very last corner of the parking spot and walk all the way through the entrance. And the later people come, the closer they park to the door. In Germany, excuse me, it is fucking the other way around. If that guy is not able to set his alarm in time, he should see where he parks. But what if that person who's late gave first aid as an accident on the street, or this kid is sick, or he's taking care of someone else, or had a bad day, or whatsoever? The Japanese people try to give those people a chance to be on time. Why? To make a customer happy. That's all what matters. It's not about me, it's not about us or whatsoever. It is about how can we as a team make sure that we fulfill what we promised. 16 units that day. Not 15 or 15.5 because that one douchebag is not able to get there in time. Isn't that crazy? For me, this is the definition of lean. Make the other person look good, having your ego under control, and help the other person really get a better day.
Well, when you think about that parking scenario, that is mind-boggling.
It is.
Because anywhere I've ever been, the earlier the person gets there, the closer
to the door. And I freaking hate that if the CEO of a company always parks right next to the entrance with his super expensive Mercedes-Benz, so that everyone needs to see, oh yeah, this guy has a fancy car. I hate that. That's ego, man. That's ego.